Let's talk business now, where we have a special guest joining us virtually from the United States, Dr. Ken Obaseki. He's an esteemed economist and, of course, a Nigerian who actually based abroad. Now, today we are going to be looking at the affairs that affect us as a person. Let's go straight now to Dr. Obaseki. Thank you so much for joining us. Okay, walk us through, looking at the inflation rate, what is the fate of the Naira? Is actually having a good fight with the dollar right now, but looking at the whole inflation, do you think the Naira can sustain its fight to battle it out with, the Naira will battle it out with with the dollars very soon?
If Nigeria they address the cause of the problem, while the Naira all of a sudden is nose diving, and all currencies, they are all strengthening up against the Naira. You see, if I were to advise the president, I would just advise it to adopt Bermudia's model. Maybe you are not old enough to know what Bermudia did. He started his this Greek farm. Produce food for the people of Midwest who would have starved to death. So I will adopt that same strategy. Produce 1 billion tubers of yam, flood the rest of the world with food. Here in the US, do you know that 1 kg of yam, yellow yam, is selling for $8 or $9?
Whoa.
Just imagine if we produce 1 billion of yam. Don't think God is not going to deny us of that growth. 1 billion yam at $2. That's $2 billion straight there. You see, it's productivity. When you are not productive, your currency is bound to be falling because you are importing more. You are importing a lot of food, importing everything. And whereas you are not supplying, other than oil, we don't supply too many products to the rest of the world. Right now, just imagine China, Europe, and America. You produce 1 billion tubers of yam. That's what I'm about to start now. In Ogoton, where I reside, I call my home, they've already prepared 2 acres for me. And you can mass produce this food and then sell them to the rest of the world and get your dollars and reduce your inflation.
So
the rest of the world, they must be getting much more from us than we are getting from them.
So what are the key factors contributing to the high inflation rate currently in the country? What are the key factors?
Productivity. The few people are producing and they jack up the price. But if you have a surplusity of the product, I mean, it's very simple. That's economics 101. Too many to buy from. Price will be forced to come down. And at that stage, and I'm recommending that the government they flood the rest of the world with our food, especially yam, cassava. You generate income, and you see how the dollar and all the other currency, they start matching the Naira. When I first arrived US, the Naira was dollar was $2 to 1 Naira.
Whoa.
That's to 1 Naira. And they started sleeping. Now you are saying 1,500 naira to $1. Sooner or later, will become like Zimbabwe.
So how does
We
inflation
need to.
affect business and consumers? Because you're trying to give us two analyses here. We should move from
Yes,
consumption to production. So how does inflation affect businesses and consumers, especially in the country?
yes. Productivity. Everything boils down to productivity. You sell your product because there is a buyer. See, when there are no buyers, then you have to look for a way to sell those products. I know things are very expensive in Nigeria right now of inflation. You know,
Are you still there?
so,
Doctor, if you're still there, so let's quickly move on now. You actually talked about productivity, and you made mention of going back to farming. But looking at the insecurity in the nation, do you think it will be that easy?
I think I achieved something recently when I heard that the Gilly houses, from Uruakoko all the way to Gilly, there are about 13 of them there. So I sent Squadron Nigile of blessed memory. He went there to go and teach them basic defense, teach them how to protect their villages, so they work cooperatively. So if all these terrorists, let me not particular ethnic group, if they start creating problem, all the 13 villages, they combine together and then solve the problem, and it was solved. So I went there. They appreciated the effort we here contributed. So yes, insecurity is a big problem. I don't know. The president should address it more. I know the Northerners too. They are also feeling the heat. They are feeling the heat. Many of these, how do I say, so-called jihadists, those who do not quite understand what Islam is all about. They want to inflict their way of life on Nigeria. If you talk to a true Muslim does not buy into what they are doing.
Well,
It is the president should bring all the stakeholders, especially all those emir, the leaders, bring them together, let them sit down, offer solution. They are the people that can help the president solve the problem, but he have to request. But he cannot just sit down and look that, the people in the north, they are the people suffering. It doesn't concern him. It concerns him. You look at how it is affecting the economy in the south. It is affecting the economy in the south. If you travel home now, at times many people, they can't travel by road because you stand the chance of being kidnapped or even losing your life. That Lagos Benin houses.
So, okay, now let's now quickly take it a step further. What are some of the potential strategies that could be implemented to curb inflation in the country? You actually made mention of the Sam Ogbemudia's theory, which you were part of. So what are other strategies that we can put in place to curb inflation in the country?
If I were to be Tinubu right now, I will introduce what you call short-term loan. to the marketers. I think I also explained to you some time ago that by now, first of all, it should build rural markets. Rural markets. Edo State needs about 100 markets. I'm talking of markets, and give them short-term loan. And how do you do that? You use existing those loaning companies. You for, say $250,000, just to boost the economy, to boost the economy and the activities, and people will start farming to sell, and then you address the urban market too. Like I told you before, Benin City needs about 45 markets. Lagos needs close to 200 markets. Ibadan, about 150 markets. That's how you stimulate the economy. Take a cue from the US. When General Motors was almost going bankrupt, what did the US do? They funded GM with so many billions of dollars because can't fail. So if Nigerian government, also adopt that kind of strategy, that is, the markets and the economy cannot fail. I'm ready to aid them to move them up, and that you see how things will turn around, and then coupled with the agric I told you about, to produce 1 billion tubers of yam, even 2 billion, flood the whole world with our food. It's very easy. It's very easy to grow yam. It's not difficult.
Now, to an extent,
That's what Ogbamudia did. I invited him to give a presentation on infrastructure, but this is Ogbamudia.
Whoa.
I gave a presentation on Greek. He couldn't wait for me to finish because everything was coming back to him.
Okay, now, to an extent, the federal government, are you okay? Just land on your thoughts. Land on your thoughts before we move on.
Yeah, that's it. Go ahead.
Okay, now, the federal government and, of course, state government, by extension, they've been giving out palliatives to Nigerians. Well, the method of sharing this money is something we are yet to arrive at. Now, some persons are of the opinion that it's a waste of fund. What says you?
I agree. Handout is not the solution. No. A real issue. You invited me on your program when I was in Nigeria some time ago, and that the federal government got $500 million or borrow $500 million to alleviate women poverty. Did that make any dent? No. You need to give out short-term loan, like I told you before. If you don't need the dollar, you just need the Naira. Even if you have to print money, give them and to stimulate the economy. You will see how every sector will be moving. But going out and start giving palliative, then the next month you give another palliative. How long can you keep doing that? Things that are causing, first of all, inflation, hardship, you should address them. Then, like as we talked about, you talked about this air flight that is not very expensive.
Yes.
A colleague of mine said he was going to go by road and that he cannot afford a flight, and that some of the flights, they are empty because people don't have the money to fly. It should be the other way. Government should even be. I don't believe in giving out free product. Government should even be selling elsewhere at 100 naira per whatever, per liter or even less to stimulate the economy. You want people to fly. You want people to wake up, go to the market, and then be moving. How you solve the problem? Yeah, the government might be losing at the beginning, but once the economy picks up, then you can start retracting all your loan and the palliative or whatever you call it.
Now the CBN has actually given a new guideline, and of course they are directing commercial banks with international authorization to increase their capital base to 500 billion naira and national banks to 200 billion. Will this stabilize the economy in any way?
On paper, you need to go. You need to meet the common man in his quiet, in his or her quiet space. Instead of going out to the TV and making all those outlandish statements. We are going to do this. We are going to do that. Show me. You need to go and meet the market women. Make it practical. Problem.
Okay. So now, how important
and
is...
then
yeah.
the people... Go ahead.
Go on.
And the people doling out this money, how genuine are they? Will you put that lady, what's her name, Dr. Betty, who was moving billions and he went to the government with the intention of embezzling the federal fund, he did.
Okay, you're talking about Betta Edu now.
Yes,
the
yes,
suspended
she
Minister of Humanitarian.
Yeah, it's not only her. When people have that kind of mindset, like Niefele, this is the whole structure. You need to restructure this,
So do you think the presidency should start holding public office holders to book if they are found wanting, just like we had Betta Edu suspended? Will in a way improve our economy?
Yeah, it will, but I don't think they can ever achieve that, because people, they go with that mindset, just embezzling Nigerian money, that we don't ruin the economy. You are talking of billions, trillions.
Okay, there seems to be a little disconnection there, but if you're there now, Dr. Obaseki, let's move a little bit now. Okay, let's move a little bit now. Nigeria used to be, or it seems, it takes the position of the giant of Africa. Are we still the giant of Africa?
We can still be the giant of Africa by population, by our achievement outside Nigeria. But the rest of Africa is waiting for Nigeria. It's waiting for Nigeria. You see, right currently, this Senegal new leader, he seems determined to also change Senegal. So I'm expecting Senegal, Mali, Burkina Faso, and Niger, that axis, okay? If Nigeria doesn't take time, a combination of those four, if they simulate the kind of economy East Africa once had, there may be hope for Africa, Right now, Nigeria is not getting things together at all. Getting things together at all. It's just the mindset. It has a lot to do with the structure. Even Tinubu himself, he worked with Chief Anthony Naira. We had met him several times, and this was the last meeting Chief came. This was at my house, and that's what I told him the day before when he was about to go to Nigeria. I told him Nigeria was not going to ever make it until it is restructured, until the structure is put in place, structure. That's why you see people like that, Betty, like Emefiele, they all embezzle, like the accountant general who made who embezzle close to, or return 6 point something billion. You know, they are talking about billions. Very mind-boggling. How can a country survive?
Now, you actually said,
Nigeria.
okay, all right. Now, you actually said when you got to US, Naira was about, it was like $2 to a Naira, if I got you correctly.
2 naira to $1. And I recall when I put my mom and my dad on a monthly stipend, I will even go to, there is a place where they sell Naira. It's like a black market here. I will buy 1 Naira for $1.50. $1.50. You know, I mean, it's very, very sad. $1.50. I used to buy Naira for $1.50. Now it's 1,400 or 500 to $1.
So why is it important now for us to
us?
strengthen our currency at this point? Why is it important
There are
now?
so many things to do to strengthen our currency. I already highlighted some of them. First of all, the farming, especially the South. You see, Nigeria is unique. We are the only country or in that oasis that can produce what they call tubers, like yam, cassava, and maybe other cocoyam. So we can mass produce them and flood the whole world with it. Past Kano, all countries, you know, above the Tropic of Capricorn, you know, they can't produce what we can produce, or below the Tropic of Cancer, you know, we are almost at the equator. We are unique, but let's do more of what we can do best, you know, meaning the yam. And I'm about to start that with the people of Ugoto. My manager already cleared 2 acres, and I met with the community. So we get this seedling, and then we start mass producing them. And if I still have the resources and the means, then like Yekoriomo and Nwode and the rest, you can generate 1 billion tubers of yam. You know, 1 billion tubers of yam, and then you can sell them outside if the federal government will let you export them. To get that dollar, you start building the industry, the infrastructure there. You see, this was what I presented. I was one of the pioneers of Edo National Association. Because this was what we had in mind to transform Edo. You know, I had requested Chief Enao to be the first keynote speaker, but when that failed, I went to, I brought Professor Semokai. Professor Semokai is from Fuga. He was teaching at Bafemi University, Bafemi Awolowo University. He moved all of us to tears at the very first convention. It was only after we started, the Igbos, the Yoruba, all the other ethnic groups, they copied us.
So do you think
my first presentation was a Greek and industrial roadmap for Nigeria.
So do you think state governments should start lifting some of these ideas and replicating them in their various states?
We say that again.
I said, because you talked about some ideas that you people actually came up with in the past. Do you think state governments should borrow some of these ideas and start replicating them in the state?
Yeah, oh yeah, they can. I think even the current governor picked Joanne of Yahweh was a part of our product. You know, when we had this Edo Leadership Assembly, influenced by his the monarch was actually the one who encouraged us to establish that Edo Leadership Assembly, and anybody who is who, we brought all of them to Chicago, and then when we met in Atlanta, that's when the governor Oshomole and his economic chairman, now the governor, came. You know, we wanted to bring everybody together. Move those forward. We can't do it. We can't do it. We can't do it. That's my specialty. I love to create an environment whereby for growth. No, and I also wrote the former monarch by Rediawa how to establish a revenue pattern for Edo, and for him to send his daughter, he did, and we did a lot. This is it. Chicago.
Okay, probably just
trying to
hold it up. You were trying to show something there.
Yes. This is Jesse Jassy, and the first princess. I brought him to Chicago. I brought her to Chicago. Excuse me. We did a lot. This is the mayor of Chicago. Okay. When I talk of a revenue pattern, a revenue pattern that exceeds me and everybody, say in 100 years' time, will continue to generate income for our people. People. That is, you see, America, who more than serve their country love, who look far beyond the years. America look far beyond the years. But like Nigeria, we are very myopic. We're myopic. We cannot see what next week will be like. I would love to ask the president, how is next year going to be like? Can you tell us, you know?
So how do we manage the issue of corruption? How do we manage the issue of corruption? Lovely ideas, brilliant submissions there, but the issue of corruption, it's a major problem.
Yes, corruption is not really our problem. It is the lack of structure. An American will do exactly what we are doing. They can get away with it. They can get away with it. Emefiele is still enjoying his freedom now, and I'm quite sure the reason why Emefiele is not being brought to book is because once he's brought to book, there are so many people that will go down with him. Even that lady too, she was giving out $100. I mean $1,000 in a saloon to all those women. Only God knows how many people she transferred money to. You know, you need a structure. If you don't have a structure, most of these things that people talking about, they are not going to work.
Okay, you're talking about
people will steal. Some people will steal because they can get away with it. If they cannot get away with it, then I think it's in Genesis 8:21. God said He's not going to ever destroy the world because the human being is corrupt, is almost evil from birth.
So with the fluctuation of the Naira now, do you think it will encourage foreign investors into the country at this point?
I mean, with fluctuation of Naira, there is nobody that is going to establish anything, bring his or her money, and when the Naira is not stable, you know, tomorrow, if you go there with, say, $10,000 now, who knows? and you exchange it for a 1,500 naira, and then all of a sudden, tomorrow is now 3,000 naira to $1. You shall have lost so much.
Okay, as we begin
The
to...
naira must be stable, or it must be going down. How do I put it? It must be strengthening. Prefer the naira to be 100 to $1. And I already told you the best way to do that is through massive exportation of our products, like cassava. You know, if you do that, what's going to happen? You have so much, so you strengthen your foreign reserve. Billions.
Okay, the presidency recently inaugurated a committee, a team that will help take Nigeria out of the current quagmire of bad economy. We have private individuals like Aliko Dangote, we have people like Tony Elumelu and so many others in that committee. What are your expectations from them, owing to the fact that some of these men, they are successful, they have actually succeeded in their various business?
And I laugh if they are, but I have not seen it yet. You know, have you?
Dangote is doing fine. Tony Elumelu is also doing fine.
I mean, you said they are working on it. Are they succeeding?
That's what we're asking now. What are your expectations from them? What are your expectations from them?
I don't know until they prove that yes. They can solve it. I don't know.
Okay, thank you so much, Dr. Obaseki. I'm afraid this is how far we can go. We'd like to have you again on the show, of course, to extend the front line of the discussion.
Yes, I enjoyed being invited.
Okay, thank you so much. Okay, well, this is how far we can go. Today's edition, like I told you, is a special one. Of course, special Good Friday edition of the program Business This Week. I'll be seeing you on the next one, and that will be in the month of April. My name is Daniel Praise. Happy Easter in advance, and bye for now.